On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning, Kevin Durant. You should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
And welcome to another exciting rendition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that team, Cole Johnson, or as Hawk TV said bright and early this morning, good morning. Says good morning, Snowman, and to moi. He also says, it's a beautiful day. Yes, like the U2 song. It's a beautiful day. Never mind. Anyway, it is a beautiful day. We are going to get things started. We will have the Playmaker join us, as he will for most of this show. And we might be joined by the Snowman, but he has to tend to some personal matters. He'll probably, knowing him, find his way back to the mic sometime during this broadcast. But for now, we got you. We got WQEE out in Noonan, Georgia. We have CSTV out in Reno, Nevada, who was up at 5 in the morning watching this. We appreciate that. We have BS3 TV, via Roku TV, watching us as well. And if you're streaming and listening to us, thank you for your ears and thank you for the downloads. We appreciate you. And now it's time for the whip around. All right, let's start with the gridiron, the hardwood, shall we? No, not the games from last night. Actually, a game that will take place tonight, and we will do a preview on it later on in the show. The NBA issues a fine, but chooses not to suspend the Nuggets center and two-time MVP winner Nikola Jokic after he pushed Matt Isbia, the new Suns owner. Now, the NBA fined him $25,000 for making improper contact with a spectator sitting courtside, but didn't suspend him. This was, of course, during the second quarter of Game 4 Sunday. Now, the incident took place 2:36 remaining in that quarter in the Suns' victory against the Nuggets, or should I say, the Nuggets. To the Suns. Now, the basketball went out of bounds, and Jokic walked over to Isbia, who basically was deboing the ball, the best way to put it. And Jokic tried to rip it out of Isbia's clutches, somewhat to no avail. So basically, both were sort of out of pocket, in my opinion. But Isbia, I think, helped aid the NBA in not suspending him by basically saying, look, it happened. Let's move on. It was like in the heat of battle, heat of the moment. Nothing's wrong. And don't influence the rest of this series. This is a great player. He's a great player. It's awesome. Awesome series. Let's not taint it by this. So in releasing that statement, I think it greased the wheels for Jokic to still stay on the field, on the court, but not get fined. Well, Game 5 of this is tonight in the Mile High City. We'll see how that goes, and we will talk about that later on in the broadcast. But from the hardwood to the diamond. For the Royals, Ryan Yarbrough is placed on a 15-day injured reserve for head fractures. And the team announced this via Twitter Monday that he was hurt after being hit by a line drive Sunday against the A's. Now, in a statement the Royals released, they said that they were happy to share that Ryan was in stable and improving condition and never lost consciousness. So I'm happy to say that. Yarbrough was hit in the face by a line drive during the 6th inning with a full count that he tossed to Ryan Noda, who smacked the ball right into Yarbrough's head. The hit registered at 106 miles per hour. Now, Yarbrough flinched as the ball approached him, and then when he made contact, he fell to his knees on the mound. The catcher of the Royals, Salvador Perez, grabbed the ball as it rolled back toward home plate, and he tossed it to Nick Prado at first base to get Noda out. But it's great to hear that Yarbrough did not lose consciousness, and he's going to be healing just fine. Many prayers to you, Mr. Yarbrough. I hope everything is great because, look, I have seen many instances where someone gets hit by a line drive or a pitch that is going at that speed, and they don't recover. And I'm glad that you will. So heal up soon and get back on the mound and try to get those left-handers out that you're probably going to be pitching to. Shall we? And we go north of the border. Jonathan Marshall scored his first 2 goals of the playoffs as Jack Eichel had a goal and 2 assists as the Vegas Golden Knights go on the road to beat the Oilers 5-1 last night, and they now take a 2-1 series lead in the playoffs. So now they got home ice advantage back. Zach Whitecloud and Chandler Stevenson also scored for the Golden Knights. Laurent Brossoit left in pain at about 11:44 of the first period after turning away 3 or 4 shots. He appeared to injure his left leg, sliding across the crease. Aiden Hill came on and stopped all 25 of the last shots of the game that he received in relief. Now, Game 4 of this wonderful series thus far will take place tomorrow night. It will be in Edmonton. Now, Edmonton has to make sure that they get a victory. Otherwise, they will travel back to Vegas down 3-1, and I don't think that's what they would want. Washington, as the LSU women's basketball team will officially head there. The team confirmed yesterday that the national champions have accepted an invitation and will be visiting 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue on May 26th. This is after weeks of speculation on whether the team would or would not visit President Biden. Now, the visit will come less than 2 months after LSU dominated Iowa to win their first NCAA Women's National Championship basketball style, and will be the 14th from the school to visit the White House after winning a national championship in football, baseball, and track and field. Head coach of the team, Kim Mulkey, has taken each of her past 3 national championship teams, which were Baylor, to the White House. Now, this is news because the controversy came with the First Lady, Jill Biden, wanting to not only invite LSU, but they also wanted to invite Iowa in a kumbaya moment of, come on, we all should get along. And, of course, it ruffled many of the feathers of LSU, especially Angel Reese, who said that you don't really offer runner-ups trips to Washington. That is reserved for the champion. And because she did that, I feel a way, and I don't think I want to attend. Well, she changed her tune about a couple weeks later and says, all right, I'll attend, but I still only give the First Lady a side eye, which I really can't blame her. But yes, through about 2.5 weeks from now, the White House will be visited by LSU. Switching gears to the gridiron and actually switching it to the graduation stage. Bears starting quarterback Justin Fields, he went back to Columbus. No, not to gear up for the next season. No, not to tweak things. No, not to go back to the lab to learn how to play the position. No, he went back there for something a whole lot more important than that. He went back to Columbus, which is the city where the Ohio State University resides, to get his bachelor's degree. Yes, the former Ohio State quarterback participated in the university's spring commencement ceremony, earning his bachelor's degree of science in human ecology. Now, he's one of 7 current former Ohio State football players that graduated Sunday, along with linebacker Steele Chambers and Tommy Eichenberg, long snapper Bradley Robinson, defensive tackle Jaden McKenzie, punter Michael O'Shaughnessy, and safety Court Williams. All I got to say to that, Justin, is congratulations. I'm glad that you went back and you completed what you probably promised your family that you would do. It is something that you will always treasure the rest of your life. Now, you can probably treasure being a Hall of Famer. You can probably treasure having rings. You can probably treasure going different places. But the one thing, and I remember hearing my mother say this to me, the one thing that people cannot take from you is when you walk across that stage and you grab that degree. No one, no matter what people will say the rest of your life, can take away from you that you did the work, went to the classroom, busted your behind, and you got a college degree. You got your bachelor's degree. Maybe the journey continues onward. Who knows? But what I do know is you did something great, and it is something that is influential to others in saying that you might want to you might want to go to college to play football, but that's not the only reason why you're supposed to go to college. So thank you for that lesson, Justin. And I hope that your degree takes you further than you could even imagine. And that is today's Whip Around. To the Fanatic Feedback Zone we go, and Hawk TV was waiting, almost like a lion encaged, ready to charge out of it. And this is, of course, in I guess you say, in preparation for our I should say, show's guest that only comes on every Tuesday, the Playmaker. He says, Playmaker, this goes without saying, you better keep it real. He also says, Playmaker said it last year that Lonnie Walker IV was one of the Lakers' better players. Yeah, he did say that, but unfortunately, he didn't prove it this year. He may have proved it last night. We'll get into that later on in the show. But he says, Snowman, your king is playing the correct way of setting the stage of opportunities. And guys are cashing in. He also says Steph did his thing, triple-double on him, but it wasn't enough for your king. And he also says, can't wait for the show. I'm glad you're here, brother. And he again says, good morning. Again, he says, Playmaker, you better come correct with a thumbs up. Good morning to you, Hawk TV. Good morning to you also, VLock83 or Victor Lock or Vicala. Good morning to you, sir. He also says, look, I really hate to say this, and I mean I really hate to say this, but I think the Lakers are going to unseat the champs. This just hasn't been the Warriors' year at all, which is true. It hasn't. He also says, one thing no one can take away from you is your education. That's right, Victor. And I know you know that very well. And Justin, I'm glad that you have it, brother. That is probably going to be one of those things you should carry with you if you get the privilege of winning a Super Bowl ring. Carry that as broadly and as big as you would a Super Bowl championship. Now, we're talking about the Bears, but that's a horse of a different color. Dave 3000, good morning, bro. I'm glad that you are on board, and I'm glad that you're here with us. Keep joining the fam. We appreciate you. We'll take our break right now, and when we come back, we will talk about Game 4 between the Heat and the Knicks. Were Wise and Stephen A. Smith happy at that result? Who knows? But what I do know is you're coming back after this. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson on a Tuesday morning. We'll be back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
That's why we here on this platform.
Marriage, a loving splendor, a daily grind. Such is the case when Damien and Jamie get together and chop it up, for marriage is real.
Let's just lay it all out here. Let's just be real with it.
Join this wonderful couple who keeps it real and always in love. BS3 Network proudly presents Marriage is Real, where love is the only thing that matters. Live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Oh, and Jamie has something to say.
Deuces and trays.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
Man, I went home that day and talked to my wife, Vicky, and Vicky was like, "What's wrong with you? You pissed off?" Yeah, I got this partner I'm working with back in the radio station. Man. The Negro be lying. What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Boy, Negro be lying. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am not the Snowman. I am Cole Johnson. And we thank you to those at CSTV, at BS3 Network, at WQEE, and many other of our partners, our broadcasting partners who are sharing this, not just across the nation, but all over the world. And we appreciate you. We appreciate the Fanatic Feedback Zone. We appreciate those who definitely are with Snowman in the Morning and Snowman Multimedia. Now let's get to it, shall we? The Heat and the Knicks, Game 4, they played in South Beach last night, which, of course, was before, I guess you could say, the main event of last night's sporting events. How can I describe this? The Knicks just simply couldn't get it going. I mean, it seemed as though they just were in. They just seemed to not really get it in gear. The final score is 109-101. The Heat now have a commanding 3-1 lead, and they travel back to the MSG in New York for Game 5. And I just okay. So I'll put it this way: the Knicks, they need to find a way to score a lot easier than they've tried, and then I think they also, if they can get their offense going, and it's similar to Celtics, if they can get their offense going, I think they'll be more invested on defense, because when the shots don't fall, I think they check out a little bit. And look, I'm not going to say that it is easy for the Knicks to defend this team. The Heat are just cooking, and most importantly, Jimmy Butler is just on fire. I mean, the only games he has not really balled out in were the games he didn't even play. So to me, it's been him, Devin Booker, and with a slight pinch of Kevin Durant, who've been stellar playoff performance, along with Nikola Jokic as well. Jimmy Butler, who basically was the game high for the Heat. He scored 27. He gave out 10 dimes. He crashed the boards for 6 boards. Bam Adebayo chipped in with 23 with 13 boards, 10 of them defensively. Mastrus, 16 points, 10 from 3. Of course, that's really what he does best, is shoot the rock. Kevin Love gave you 8. And off the bench, Kyle Lowry with 15. And I think this was the key. The fact that they got contribution from him and from Martin, who came off the bench with 10. And it helped the starters basically just flow. And when you get help from your bench, it helps the continuity of your team. And of course, it definitely does when you're playing at home. Now, for the unfortunate losing Knicks, Jalen Brunson gave you a game high 32 points with 11 dimes. Even chipped in with 4 assists. But he was not all that great from the field. 10 of 21, 2 of 7 from 3. Or downtown is the former announcer great Marv Albert used to say. 24 points was what Barrett scored. Pretty much just scoring for him. Only 3 dimes and 4 boards. 20 points from Randall. Julius Randle, 20 points, 9 boards. Now, I've had this conversation with my mentality partner, my mentality co-host, my brother, Waz Halefe. I said that, if the Knicks are going to go as far as they're going to go, yes, Brunson is a big contributing factor, but they need Julius Randle to be a beast. And he was seeing the numbers in the regular season. He said, yeah, I mean, Julius, he's doing his thing. I said, yeah, he's doing his thing, but he needs to be a beast. And I meant he needed to bring Jokic numbers, Giannis numbers, Embiid numbers. He needed to score over 30 points, in my opinion, for the Knicks to advance, because I think the Knicks, the organization, the front office, and the fellow players, I think they're looking for him to just dominate the action and have him be the centerpiece to what the Knicks do offensively, so that defensively the rest can take care of itself. Hartenstein and Hart and Toppin and Robinson, they can focus on what they do best, which is to defensively make things more difficult. Because now Randall doesn't have an excuse. He has Brunson to take the scoring weight off of him, and then when Barrett wants to score, RJ could do the same. So the way I see it, when Randall disappoints, you're going to get a disappointing effort from the whole team. Brunson's going to come. He's going to come with it, whether the team wins or loses, because Brunson just is that beast of a point guard. And I think he is starting to show that it wasn't a fluke last year when we all of a sudden saw him just ball out for the Mavericks. And basically he was one of the 2 biggest factors for them to advance to the conference finals last year. It was him. And I would dare challenge to say that it was him being the biggest contributing factor, even bigger than Luka Doncic, because Luka was off and on injured. And when he played, he was great. When he didn't play, the team seemed to really respond very well to Brunson. So it wasn't a far leap for me to see Brunson go from Dallas to New York and do the same thing that he does with the Knicks that he did with the Mavericks. And he's doing the same thing. The only difference is he's doing it on a bigger stage, and he's actually doing it on an even more consistent level than he was doing in Dallas, because he's getting the chance to start. So I didn't think that Brunson was going to be a problem. He wasn't going to pull, in my opinion, the James Harden in the playoffs performance where he would just automatically just disappear. He was going to invest the time and be there, and he was going to show that he was going to ball out. And he's done that. The problem, though, is no one has consistently been there with him to ball out with him, to help him out. Because Randall has been in and out of the lineup with injuries. And then when he is in the play, he's giving you disappointing effort. Barrett, not really sure if he is the guy who could contribute on an NBA stage. He seemed to basically be small and play small. And then now he's coming on and he's being more consistent. But there hasn't been one consistent guy that has rolled with Brunson, and that is what the Knicks need. Now, what the Knicks need to do is when they do play next, and it will be at home, they need to take that energy that they had, and they need to bottle the energy that they had in the previous series. And I think they need to actually think the opposite. I think they need to focus on the defensive end first. Let the defense dictate the offense. Help the offense out. Give yourself some fast break opportunities and just clamp down defensively. And what they need to do is basically say to Butler, okay, we know that you're going to ball out. In these playoffs, you already had a game where you scored 42. You already had another game where you scored 56. We know you're balling out. We know you're locked in. We want everybody else to beat us. And I think that is what the Knicks are going to have to do. And I'm sure Tom Thibodeau, the head coach of the Knicks, that's probably what he's going to focus on doing. You need to have Adebayo bring you another 23. You need to have Strus give you a 16. And you need to have someone off the bench like Lowry to give you 15. Force the others to beat you and let Butler cook. And if Butler cooks, let him be the only person on the Heat which cooks. And I think that is the ticket for the Knicks. They need to focus hard on the defensive end. And if they could do that, I think they will be in better shape than they already are now. So what they really, really must have happen is Randall and Robinson must get together and say, okay, the post is locked down. If they're going to bring it, they're going to suffer. And unfortunately, I know it isn't back in the day where you actually can give them remember me shots and have fouls and not have it hurt the team because they instituted a flagrant foul for the 1991 season. So I know that you can't do those types of things, but you can still be physical and you can still bring it. It was proof in the last series that the Knicks can do that. Be active in the passing lanes. Shut down drives and penetrations. Force them to shoot only threes because with the Heat, you're not talking about a team that shoots it well from there. I mean, last night, they were only 13 of 39. So, I mean, that's a good percentage in terms of them, but this was at home that they shot 13 of 39. They probably will shoot worse on the road. So force them to think that they have to settle for outside shots or perimeter shots. And if that's the case, and the only person that can score is Butler, and they are having a hard time collapsing and penetrating, then you can get steals, you can get blocks, and you can get fast break opportunities. And you can get easy buckets that way, and that will build the confidence in having your offense flow. And then when you get settled, you can have the ball hop around from one side to the other. You can have those cut to the basket. You can do give and goes and pick and rolls. You can do what you want to do offensively, but you need to have your defense spark it. And I think that is what the Knicks are missing, and that's what the Knicks have to do. Now, for the Heat, what they need to do is continue to do what they're doing. The Knicks, in my opinion, they're settling for threes too much. This is a team that shouldn't take 28 threes, which they took last night. They only made 9 of them. They need to basically say, okay, we will take our shots from 3 only if it is a great shot. We need to own the paint. We are a taller team. We are a bigger team. We are a more physical team. We need to own the paint. And so we're going to own the paint. Then there needs to be some give and goes. between Brunson and Randall, between Brunson and Robinson, and even between Brunson and Toppin. Even Brunson and Hartenstein, if he decides to get some minutes. Give and goes. Some pick and rolls. Some pick and pops. Do those things to make sure that your interior offense is working. Because you got a whole ton of mouse and house opportunities that the Knicks are not taking advantage of. I mean, look, Kevin Love may have height, but he's not the most physical power forward in the world. More than likely, you might actually have Butler be in those situations. And if so, crash those boards. Go in the paint. And Adebayo, yes, he's an active center, but he's not the biggest one. You got height. You got girth. Use it. Use it to your advantage. And that's what the Knicks need to do. But the Heat have forced the Knicks to think, well, we need to settle for perimeter shots. So the Heat need to continue to do that. Let them continue to settle for those perimeter shots because they're not falling. They're not making those baskets. They're making their own lives, the Knicks I'm talking about, more difficult by taking outside shots that are unnecessary and tough. They don't need to do that. Make the offense easier. And they need to do that in Game 5. If they win it, Game 6, and if they win that, Game 7, when they returns back to Madison Square Garden, should they win the next time they play at South Beach, if it gets there. Game 5 for the Heat and Knicks, it returns back to New York. Tip-off is tomorrow night. The Heat have to continue what they're doing. The Knicks have to start their offense by dominating on the defensive end. Make life difficult for the Heat to score. Make it difficult for them to score. You got to make it difficult for them to score. If you don't, forget about it. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. MSG is going to be rocking because they're going to hope and wish and pray that the Knicks can stave off elimination and go onward to Game 6, which will be played then Friday night. Oh. Back to the Finance Feedback Zone we go before we bring on our guest. Victor says, I have the sinking feeling that Mr. Ray is going to be insufferable tomorrow. Sig Diggy, Oliver Norway says, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Good afternoon to you, sir, all the way from Scandinavia. And the pleasantries are being exchanged between Sig and Victor. And Victor says, oh, man, that sounds like fundamentals, Cole. Who's practicing those? Good point, Victor. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. All right, we'll take a pause for the cause, and when we come back, the Playmaker joins us, and he will probably give you one of these. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. We'll be back right after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic, but I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
As he joins us every Tuesday, all throughout the show, it is Darnell Solins, a.k.a. The Playmaker, the hardest working content creator I know, still in the broadcasting witness protection program. How you doing, sir?
Where's Snowman?
Snowman is tending to some personal things.
Okay. Because I gave him the opportunity yesterday to do what was supposed to be done.
I know, you did, and this is exactly what happened.
So I would do the job correctly in a minute. But
In a minute,
because other stuff took place.
Okay. So yes, let's get into it. You attended Raw, WWE Raw last night. So how was it, sir?
It was great. It was great. They did not play around last night.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, they ain't play around last night. You talking about within the first 20 minutes, the whole crowd was singing 3 different entrances. I'm like, well, okay. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and then Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like they found the film formula now. It's like, okay, let's create themes that the crowd can sing along and treat them like a European soccer crowd.
It was fun.
That's good.
The World Heavyweight Tournament off to a tremendous start.
Mm-hmm.
I got something that's gonna shock you. Brock Lesnar made it to Jacksonville.
I know. I saw that. I was like, oh, wow. He must be getting paid more for appearances, because this is something that you rarely see.
I'm like, this is the most I've seen Brock Lesnar on live television in a long time.
Yeah, dare say since his return.
I was like, how long do you think Brock has ever been to Jacksonville?
Yeah, you probably to go back to 2005, possibly 2004, maybe. That was good though.
My night was mega. Trish Stratus was there. I'm like, I'm done. My night's good now.
Oh, so you're a Trish Stratus fan? Okay.
Stratus fan. That's the number one crush right there. On the list of crushes, that's the top of the list.
Man, you believe she's 46?
Yeah.
And she looks like that, and she's 46.
And the man came back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a well done segment. That was a well done segment. Because I like the fact that Trish got her shine and got her heel stuff in, and led you to believe that she was, poking fun at the fans again. and then Becky sneaks from behind and gets some of her comeuppance back. So that was well done.
They was not playing last night. I enjoyed it. That's actually the first time I actually been to a show right after a pay-per-view. Because Backlash was in Puerto Rico Saturday.
Right. Yeah, 2 days ago. That's where WWE was, right?
And that was awesome, man. Shout out to Cody Rhodes opening up Raw. And threw a slight mention of AEW in there.
I was going to ask you that. So Cody made his return to Jacksonville. Of course, for those that don't know, Jacksonville basically is the glorified home. Or I basically say Chicago is the main home, but now it's embedded that Jacksonville is. But AEW is a glorified home. Jacksonville is a glorified home for AEW. So Cody spent a whole lot of time in Jacksonville. How did it feel to see him come back to Jacksonville?
No, because that's the crazy thing was I was saying with some people, I'm like, I wonder who's going to open up Raw. Is it Seth Rollins or is it Cody Rhodes? Either way, I know the crowd going to sing either way. I'm like, you know what? It's going to be Cody because it had to be Cody.
It had to be.
You beat Brock Lesnar. So I'm guessing you got to go that route. So Cody comes out, obviously. Crowd's into it. And Cody actually said Duval. He can't crowd with Duval.
Like I said, he's been in the city for years. I'm sure he would know that you all go Duval. I know, and I know I've never set in foot in Jacksonville, and I know that's how you roll.
So that was a good way to start off. So shout out to Seth Rollins. He's going to Night of Champions. That's what they did.
Yeah,
a very entertaining match. Now I gotta wait to SmackDown and see who's gonna make him from the SmackDown side. That one I don't know, because SmackDown got the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
One match alone, you talking about Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, and I forgot the third person. All in one match. I'm like, good gracious. I don't even know how that's gonna go. And then you got Bobby Lashley, Sheamus, and Austin Theory in the other match.
Oh, they did put Theory in the tournament.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they put Theory in there.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know why, but I think I start with these tournaments thinking, okay, so who is going to get paired off with whom? And you think, okay, they have a great chance of advancing the tournament, but they like Cody, but they're gonna be bounced out for some reason. Because I figured with Cody in the tournament, I was like, I don't think his program with Lesnar is done yet. So I know the two of them going to dance some more. So I knew he was not. I knew he wasn't going to advance. So I was thinking, okay, so who on SmackDown is going to have one of those? Yeah, it's kind of great, but he gets dragged out. I'm thinking Ray is probably going to be that. I just don't know. It's probably going to be Dom.
No, because what they did was they went back to the full blind split. So unless they're gonna have Don hide his face, that's the only way that's gonna work.
Oh, they actually are adhering to a brand split.
Yes. Once Backlash was done, brand split's in effect.
Okay.
It's gonna get interesting.
Oh, 6 says this edition of the Hot Seat is brought to you by Slam Hard Barbecue. Tastes so good, you better tip and kiss the waitress. Oh yeah, that's coming. No question about that. No question about that. And 6 says in a minute, Playmakers Blog Network. This is not the time to be singing the Brothers Johnson track.
Hey, a lot of stuff took place yesterday and over the weekend, so you know.
Yeah. Victor says the Playmaker was looking for that Stratisfaction. Again, my man, 46 and 46. She looks like that. That should be again the law.
And she got 2 kids.
Yeah, that should be again the law. 6 says the fact that Raw was in Jacksonville clearly shots are fired toward AEW. Oh yeah,
not really.
Really?
They was coming to Jacksonville before AEW was ever thought of. I mean, they was in Puerto Rico. They didn't want to go to Miami because they've been in Miami numerous times. You didn't want to go to Orlando because you've been in numerous times. The next best city and closest to Puerto Rico is Jacksonville.
And we're gonna get to Backlash in a sec. So Trish is still hot. Lita's still fiery. Yeah. Jacksonville is AEW's headquarters since the Khans, who own the Jaguar. No, actually, since Shad Khan, who owns the Jaguars, are based there. Because Tony does not own the Jaguars. That's his father. But you saw Backlash. What was your impression of it?
San Juan, take a bow. That crowd. The more that they do international shows, the more the crowd is freaking insane.
Mm-hmm.
That crowd was into it from start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. I think all right, I'll get this out the way. Now they were feeling some people, and I'll get the people they were feeling. But that crowd was not feeling Bianca Belair at all. Your thoughts on, do you think WWE should entertain making a heel turn for Bianca?
Not yet. Not yet. Because how often do they go to Puerto Rico?
That's the first time in a long time that I remember even them thinking about headed to Puerto Rico. So, yeah, that's a good point.
And plus, she was fighting Io Sky. Io Sky, if you know anything...
She's awesome.
If you know anything about that style of wrestling, that's pretty much international wrestling.
She is awesome. She is absolutely awesome.
So you're talking about somebody who loves to fly. In Puerto Rico, that's what they like to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
And think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Did the crowd really boo Rhea Ripley and she's the heel?
That's
Even going against Selena Vega.
That's what I'm saying. They really didn't boo her. They didn't really go in on her. I mean, she did get some jeers, but they didn't really go hard and boo her.
See? We are past the crowd in general, all over the world. We are past the point of you a heel and we're gonna boo you. It's what you do is what's gonna make us either boo you or cheat. Rhea does nothing besides hang around Dominic. That's about it.
I'm about to say, yeah, all Dominic has to do is be near a mic. Not even speaking to it, just be near a mic.
That's what I call Dominic Hill of the year. People told me MJ. I'm like, dude, when you have a mic,
MJ doesn't touch it down,
and you can't say a word. Oh, you're the heel of the year.
And that's before he raises the mic to his mouth. Then they get louder. I'm like, wow. I was like, wow.
By simply turning on his father. That's all he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He turned on his father, and he became the biggest heel in the business. I'm like, how? Wow. I know why he became a heel, but I'm like, I did not think that people would be that passionately in the hate department for Dominic Mysterio. I'm like, man. I know Ray has to be real happy about that. It's like, wow, son, you did something that I haven't done. And I tried being a heel. Oh, all right. The SmackDown Women's Championship match, Rhea Ripley, Selena Vega. I've always been a fan of Selena, her style of wrestling, I mean. Because, yes, she's small, but she seems to play well into the size. And she seems to really do well in making, if someone is larger than she is, making them look imposing. And I think she did a good job with Rhea in that department. And she played to the crowd wonderfully, obviously. And Rhea, I think, is going to make a really good champion because I think now she's learned how to play to her opponent's strengths in the ring, but still she can get her stuff in. What was your impression of that match?
It was a very good match. You know, Selena, as you said, plays to the crowd. Get the crowd what they wanted. But if you know anything, we all know who was going to win that match.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that had Dom Dom on her shorts, yes.
We knew who was going to win that match. I mean, dude, you can go back to her WrestleMania match with Charlotte Flair. You said that was the best match of the whole card.
It was. Please challenge me on that. That was the best match of WrestleMania.
Them two were going at it.
Yeah.
I have never seen a women's match get that physical.
No, that's the most physical women's match I've seen. And I'm talking about even with the AEW stuff when they've gone hardcore. Still, that's the most physical women's match I've ever seen. Ooh, wow.
And I have another one. Now that Natalia's in the picture.
Yep.
I was like, sign me up for this one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the standing ovation that Selena got, that was absolutely wonderful. And I'm thinking that she's been in the business a long time. I think like now it's almost getting to the 13, 14-year department. And she's been a heel almost all of her career. Now she gets the face run. She's gotten this build up. And she gets the match in it wasn't necessarily her hometown, but basically her home culture. I think that's the best way to put it. She shows up, she shows out, and the crowd gives her that much love. What were your thoughts on what how the crowd just gave her flowers at the end of that match?
It's a fun thing. It wasn't even a forced face turn.
No.
It just so happens that that group respects Rey Mysterio that much.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened to be, oh, you guys love Rey Mysterio. But since you love Rey Mysterio, we can cheer for y'all now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it really happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was organic. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't know the guy on that advertisement were Rey Mysterio fans. We didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
But that tells you, when it comes down to luchador wrestling, Rey Mysterio is the GOAT.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I can't think of any guy in the Lucha Libre field that is more internationally known than him. There's no question about that.
And you can tell in Backlash, Selena is not used to being cheered.
No.
It was a different feeling.
Mm-hmm. And even with that, though, she actually is working well as a face, considering that she works that very little. And I was like, wow, okay. That was cool. Yeah, and you could tell by her reaction, yeah. But I thought that was wonderful. And I thought it was well-deserved, too, because that woman is so entertaining. It's not even funny. All right. Match of the card. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. I'm gonna get to Bad Bunny in a minute. But doggone it, we need to put Damian Priest up on the card. How is this guy making another guy who, I know they're friends outside the ring, but how is this guy, he makes another guy who barely wrestles, although he does know how to work. And he made this guy look absolute gold. I'm like, wow. I was like, why is this guy so underutilized? I was like, this guy does not need to be a henchman. This guy needs to go for some gold. And I'm not talking about mid-level gold either. Stunned at how he was absolutely a stud in the ring with Bad Bunny.
Damian Priest is good. Okay.
And he's smooth too. I'm like, doggone, he's so smooth.
The thing, see, here's the thing. If you really think about Judgment Day, it doesn't work without Damian Priest.
It can't work without him. He's the glue. He is the glue that holds that group together. Look, I love Finn. Always have loved Finn. And he's a good heel. Of course, he basically got popular by being a heel. The head of the first ever indoctrination of the Bullet Club. So he knows how to play a heel, and he does a good job of it. But even he is like, okay, he's cool, but Rhea, awesome. And she knows how to play a heel too. And she probably gets the most love, obviously, for different reasons. And of course, Dom is a heat magnet. But Priest? Oh my gosh. The way he moves in the ring, the little things that he can do, the facial reactions, the way he sells, the timely move to just simply take the air out of the arena. I mean, the dude just knows what he's doing, and I love it when I see that. I love it when I see that.
I think at some point it'll be Priest the first one to get a belt before the other two gentlemen.
It has to. It has to, because he just works too good, too smooth. Because all I kept thinking of was the last time Bad Bunny wrestled was last year's WrestleMania. How is it that this guy is making this guy who has not really touched the ring in 13 months look this good? Oh, wow.
And if Bad Bunny took the route of Logan Paul, Bad Bunny would be a mega star.
He would. He would. Yeah, he would.
You know, I don't understand how he got wrestling down that fast.
Yeah, I don't either. Okay, now we talk about Bad Bunny. I've always been impressed by him. It's like, wow, he really respects the business. You know, he could be like, well, you know, I'm a mega star already. I'm the biggest selling music artist in the world. You all should be happy that my name is linked to this product. This dude really actually wants to work. And he's pulling off moves like the Canadian Destroyer. I'm like, you ain't supposed to pull off moves like that, dude. And not only that, he's taking bumps like the South of Heaven bump he took weeks back from Damian Priest on the announce table. I'm like, you got some stones, man. Woo. You got some stones. And then in the match in Backlash, he takes a suplex from a platform down to the table. I'm like, I say, not only this dude does offense, he takes hardcore bumps too. Your thoughts on Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny, that dude. I would say this because usually before Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, when we come to celebrities, we all know that it don't look right. Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, I don't know how much training they getting in, but both of them look good in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, Logan Paul does look good in the ring too. Yeah. They look like naturals in the ring.
I'm like, y'all can hate Logan Paul all you want, but that guy can go in the ring.
I agree, says TV. I've said that about Dolph Ziggler a long time too. Just how smooth he looks in the ring. I will put Damian Priest up there with Dolph Ziggler. How smooth he looks in the ring. He makes anybody look good. Priest is up there now. And Bad Bunny, hats off to you, dude. Because I'm like, dang, you love this. You love this. And it's obvious you love this. Ooh. But yeah, that was a good event. I enjoyed. I didn't see the pay-per-view. I saw clips of it.
You know I caught it. Great.
Yeah, I saw clips of it. I'll have to say this: my most disappointing. The three-way with Theory. It was a good match, but it was underwhelming considering the moment. Cody and Lesnar, it did what it was supposed to do. It advanced the story. I didn't expect much out of it, and I didn't care who won actually. Although Cody, with a sneak pin, got one over on Lesnar.
Think of it like this: How did Brock Lesnar beat Bobby Lashley?
Oh, similar. Well, and the last time they hooked up, Lesnar got disqualified by low blow. So yeah, and then there was another match that they had where Lesnar snuck a pin in.
He was shocked as hell. Like, hold on, Brock Lesnar just won? Wait a minute, that's not a typical win for Brock Lesnar.
Right, and that wasn't a typical L he took either. But yeah. But still, I was like, okay. But then when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is an advanced story, so that's not over. Okay.
And then what they do? They bring that finish right back around.
They brought it back 2 days later, which I figured. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
So now, since you beat Brock Lesnar this week, we're gonna use that against you with Cody. Because we know Cody's gonna win, but how he's gonna win?
Yeah.
Oh, got him in a Kimura lock.
And I liked it. I liked how he used the Kimura lock against him. That was a smart move. That was smart booking. I like that. I have to say I was the most underwhelmed. I'm not saying the match was bad, but I was the most underwhelmed by the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Riddle versus the Bloodline match. I was the most underwhelmed because I'm like, there's just too many moving parts here. I get that the Bloodline has to go over, and I get that you don't want to have the Usos have the tag team title belts right now. I get that.
They're not getting it back.
And I know storyline wise they won't get it back for a minute. But it still just felt like it was just too many moving parts. The right team won because I think the Bloodline needed to win. I just think they didn't advance the tension between the brothers enough for me to say, okay, so that's the purpose for this match. Because it was like, okay. So you saw seeds of tension. Solo wins it for the team, but they look like they're all together and they're one when they win. I'm thinking, man, I wish they would have done more. Like Solo would have just given him like a side eye and leave the ring, and have the Usos just stay there in the ring while Solo walks away from him. Something like that.
It's a little intimacy. It's a little intimacy here.
I get it. Intimacy.
And then SmackDown. Oh boy, the Trouble Chief.
Oh yeah. Roman returns, but I really thought they could have gone just a little bit further. Not necessarily have Solo like Samoan spike them both. It's Jay and Jimmy. I'm not saying go there. I'm just saying plant a harder seed of tension of.
I think they would.
That just ain't working.
Paul Heyman's going to be involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here thinking. My thinking right now is if Roman is the one that's going to pull the trigger here, Jimmy's getting taken out.
One of them is getting taken out. I know that.
I'm saying Jimmy because if you take Jay out,
it's supposed to work with Jay to rebel hardest. Yeah.
If you take Jimmy out, because the real thing is going because they all started with Jay Uso.
Yeah. So it should end with him. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's probably going to end with Jay and Roman going at it again. And I'm not saying that it has to happen now. I'm not saying that. I just want to get my juices flowing for the brothers getting at it. The Usos and Solo, and they're clashing and they're butting heads. I want that to happen.
It's gonna come because Solo's typically on Roman's side, basically.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As naive as it is, that's pretty much how they're showing Solo. He's naive. He's gonna do what Roman needs him to do.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was it was a good weekend of WWE action, and man, glad I got a chance to talk with you about it. Backlash is great. Raw was great. I'm looking forward to SmackDown Saturday, And the Night of Champions is later on this month, along with Double or Nothing on the AEW side that weekend as well. Ugh. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend is going to be loaded with a lot of wrestling shows. Wow. I just realized that. All right, we're due for a top of an hour break. Hour number 2 starts right now.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jag.
Well, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the Playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2, YSL.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now.
That voice you hear is my partner, Snowman, or Brian Snow. He's not here this morning. He has some personal business to take care of. But welcome to hour number 2 of Tuesdays. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson Morning Sports Show. I am Cole Johnson. I am joined, as always, every Tuesday by the Playmaker, the hardest working content creator I know. And before we get to your hotness of the hot seats, to the fan feedback zone we go really quick. Six says, look, you'd be surprised, Cole, how much training Bad Bunny has undergone to stay in shape. I saw a documentary leading up to last year's WrestleMania. That's when I realized that Bad Bunny, he's a bad boy when it comes to wrestling, and he has a lot of respect for the business. And I have a whole ton of respect for him because of it. Stuck in My Mind podcast, AKY.
I'm glad you in the chat. I need you to listen to this.
He says, "Good morning, my brothers. I have to say, sir, I had to give your dicks to business, brother. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it." Shady Sports Network, Sam, how you doing, brother? We are broadcasting actually on the YouTube channel, the Shady Sports Network, along with Snowman Multimedia as well. Good morning to you, sir. Six says, look, Logan Paul and his younger brother Jake are legit athletes. Yes, they are. Longtime amateur wrestlers, and they put in the work in boxing. That's what I didn't realize. I didn't realize they had amateur wrestling background, because I just thought they were just boxers. Shows you what I knew, which was very little. And when it came to the Pauls, Shady Sports Network says, "Look, hit that button and subscribe. We're nearing 700, which is true. We are."
I got a long way to go then. God no.
Six says, "Look, I'm in Europe, so I'm glad we still have the WWE Network, and we have Peacock here in the U.S. Six says, look, Solo is the youngest of Rikishi's 5. He has 4 sons and a daughter. The twins are the oldest, which is true, and the middle son who's entering the business." And I think I saw an interview with him at one point. Neither here nor there. Also, Umaga Zanzilla is making his way into the business. Man, that's a guy I miss, man. Ooh, I wish he went too soon. Man, Umaga, he went too soon. Solo reminds me of Umaga, but man, Umaga was the business. Why says they need to bring back Carlito permanently.
They don't. Carlito, he had his time. It was great seeing him Saturday and spitting somebody's face.
Oh Lord. Six says, Playmaker, for some reason when I look at your picture in the hour 2 intro, you remind me of one of my relatives. Y says, look, man, I'm giving the Knicks the business as well. Yeah. They disappointed. They disappointed me in South Beach. CSTV says, hey, don't forget our network has Next Level Pro Wrestling Thursday Night Throwdown, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I will get to you on that commercial, sir. That's what we'll do on our next commercial break. But you have some business to take care of, sir. And I'll set you up this way. So yes, the game that I have not talked about, I will talk
okay.
about it now.
Okay.
The Warriors were in Crypto.com Arena. They played the Lakers. They had a 10-point lead in the third quarter, but they faltered 104-101. And I'll just give slight particulars. Curry led all scorers with 31, had a triple-double, 14 dimes and 10 boards. Unfortunately, and I'll talk about what I think is the fault later. Andrew Wiggins, he chipped in with 17. Payton II, he chipped in with 15, which that's a surprise. Klay Thompson was dry as a bone. He only finished with 9. DiVincenzo, who was a recipient of a few good dimes from Curry, he finished with 10 off the bench. And then the victorious Lakers, they were led by number 6 of the Lakers with scoring 27. Davis chipped in with 23. Reeves chipped in with 21. Schroeder off the bench chipped in with 10. And the fourth quarter savior, Lonnie Walker IV, with 15. Now the series is 3-1 for the Lakers. They will advance to play the Warriors Game 5 tomorrow night at the Chase Center. Now, those are the particulars. I wanted to set the stage for you, sir, because I think you have this for the Warriors. And I will say, sir, the floor is yours as I give you this camera.
So yesterday, well, let me go to Sunday. Sunday, I had a conversation.
Sunday.
I asked a certain person, do you want to handle this or you want me to handle this? He said he was going to handle it. Yesterday comes up, and you can hear it in Cole's voice. A very disappointing way to handle the business.
I mean, the man winning on Bronny. I'm like, dude, no. Please.
He comes with a conspiracy theory here.
Oh, the refs. Yeah, the refs have it in for the Warriors, right?
And you can just hear Coach was like, really? This is what we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So now, as he like to say, to be the champs, he must unseat the champs. Where the champs are down 3-1. This stupid road game that they can't never win on is coming back to hunt them.
Well, they did win 2 in the previous series, though.
Against the upstarting Sacramento Kings.
And I agree. They haven't won a road game in this series. Correct, sir.
You had 2 opportunities at Crypto.com Arena.
Well, they threw a game 3.
You got the doors blown off you.
They should be sick about last night, though. They should be sick about last night.
Steph Curry get you a triple-double. Let me tell you, Steph Curry got you a triple-double.
And led all scores with a triple-double.
And you lost that game. Now, before I get into some Warrior players, Darvin Ham, congratulations.
Oh, wonderful move.
You finally remember that Lonnie Walker IV is on your damn team.
Well, you got to understand. He thought that he could do his thing with, well, the lineup that was there. But the Warriors decided to just speed things up a little bit. The reason why I said that the Lakers should be thinking that Lakers stars are playing the Warriors instead of the Kings, because the Kings were going to do that to the Lakers. They was going to run them off the floor. Continue, sir.
It finally took Laker fans some time to realize what they actually got in Lonnie Walker, because they obviously didn't pay attention to the San Antonio team when Lonnie Walker was there.
No, yeah, it's obviously pay attention.
And I'm like, dude, y'all got Lonnie Walker's a bucket. Lonnie Walker get his own shot. As you saw last night in the fourth quarter. He was not scared of the moment. So, Darby, thank you for actually knowing who's on your damn team for once. Okay, LeBron James. We still haven't had. This is the crazy thing. We still haven't had a signature LeBron game yet.
Good. I hope we don't.
That's the bad part. It hasn't happened yet.
The bad part.
Yeah, that's the bad part because he hasn't had one yet, and it's like at some point it's gonna be one of them games. He's like, all right, give me the ball, I'm taking over.
The bad part.
Austin Reed, 21. Anthony Davis. We can say Anthony Davis put back-to-back good games together. Won't say spectacular ones. Game 3 was spectacular. Game 4 was good.
Yeah, only 23 points and 15 boards. For him, that's decent.
10 for 16 from the field.
That's solid. Yes. Decent is solid. Last night for him was a decent, solid game. Yeah.
So he didn't drop all the way down like he normally does.
Right.
So shout out to the Lakers. They up 3-1. And if you know me, you know how disgusting I feel right now saying that. Back to the Warriors. So we're not going to start Kevon Looney.
Yeah, wanted to get smaller.
We tried Jermichael Green to work for one game.
Yeah, but disappeared in game 3.
We're going to insert Gary Payton II.
Give you defensive presence.
And to the degree it worked because D'Angelo Russell only had 4 points.
Yeah. See? So it did work in that regard.
D'Angelo Russell only had 4 points after he started torching the Warriors in game 3. He the reason why the game started torching.
Right.
Draymond Green. That's a typical game, Draymond Green game. 8, 10, and 7.
Oh, so it wasn't a triple single. Okay.
Andrew Wiggins. That's what you see. Cole, remember when I say this. Yeah, Andrew Wiggins coming back, but y'all do realize how long he was out, right?
Yeah. At least 2 months, if not longer. But yeah. And it's you're starting to see it.
17 points on 6 of 14 shooting.
Yeah, now you're starting to see it.
Klay Thompson, well, I mean, this has been Klay Thompson for the past 2 seasons, so this is what it has been. But Gary Payton didn't give you 15.
Now that was a surprise. And for me, that right there, that stat line, 15 points from him. Forget the triple double from Curry. The 15 points from Gary Payton II. And as a Warriors, you lose the game. That right there, that I circled that. That is a wasted effort.
You see, you circled the wrong person. But you probably did that on purpose because you probably watched the full episode of Shooting Myself yesterday, and so you know who I threw under the bus.
Oh, you could throw Jordan Poole under the bus, but still, I'm not doing it for throwing under the bus. I'm throwing the team under the bus for wasting the effort of someone who stepped up in lieu of Mr. Poole, who gave you a goose egg.
And
this dude gave you 15 points and you still lose the game. That's inexcusable.
So you remember before this series started, I told Snowman one person had to show up.
Yeah, Jordan space Poole, who didn't in game 4.
10 minutes.
Oh, he gave you 2 dimes and 3 boards.
10 minutes.
Oh, did I mention he gave you 3 boards and 2 dimes?
10 minutes.
And he also gave you 2 turnovers.
10 minutes. They are 48 minutes in a game.
0.
And you only got 10 minutes.
And he gave you 0.
Now, let me bring some fragrant foul to Snowman in the morning. Who got paid before the season started?
The one that Draymond Green decided to throw a right punch to in practice. Good. That was a nice right hook too.
Who was the talk of the playoffs last year?
It was the guy who people thought that he was going to supplant Klay Thompson as the Splash Brother.
If I recall, wasn't there merchandise that says pool party?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what Jordan Poole was doing last year? Have you seen a pool party this whole playoffs, Cole Johnson?
Let me see if I answer that question.
No pool party. Now, let me bring y'all some stats. Just to let you know how peed off I am with Jordan Poole. You know how many points Jordan Poole scored in the regular season? He averaged 20.4 points a game in the regular season.
Oh, that's sad.
Before last night, you know how much points he was averaging before last night in the playoffs this year? 11.6. She. Do you know he was shooting 43% during the regular season? He's shooting 39 in the playoffs.
You for real?
He's shooting less than 20% from three. But yet, for a year, $140 million contract extension. Let me say that again to make sure I got it right. He got a 4-year, $140 million. There's no dots in there. That's all together.
What?
$140 million.
What?
Contract extension.
What?
And you is the guy that's giving me 11 freaking points in the playoffs.
Bitch, are you for real?
Can't even shoot 40% from the field and less than 20% from three.
Bitch, are you for real?
But we want to look at Draymond Green. You say, see, it's Draymond Green's fault. Oh, Klay Thompson's up and down. Neither one of them got contract extensions. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cole. Last time I recall, I didn't hear a contract extension for Klay Thompson nor Draymond Green.
No, in fact, people were saying that they were scuttlebutting, saying that that Draymond was a little upset that Poole got his contract extension and that he wasn't really considered for his. Hence the right cross to Poole's cheek.
You know? And the crazy thing is, Snowman on his own tomorrow. Ray gonna come in here. I'll be surprised if Ray actually go longer than 10 minutes this time.
Why are you all fearing Ray?
Because the fact that his king is, you know, the scary part about this, Cole.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is just flowing with the game.
Yes, he is.
He's just flowing with the game. Oh, you know what? Oh, I don't need to take over. Oh, Lonnie Walker, go ahead, do what you got to do, man. I trust you. And Lonnie Walker comes out the bench and give you 15.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just flowing with the game. He ain't trying to take over or nothing. He's like, okay, my group is doing that thing. I'll let them do it.
All right, we are joined by Mr. Give Me This Camera, Brian Snow, a.k.a. the Snowman.
Being a proud papa and a proud husband has you running around sometimes. Jody is sick. I had to take my daughter to an interview, and I'm waiting on her now. But thank you to everyone who sent their prayers and their well wishes. It's been a runaround morning. It's been a runaround morning so far. I should be back in studio this afternoon for my afternoon show, depending on how Jody feels. Am I discussing with what happened in Los Angeles last night? Yep, because the Warriors got beat up, out-hustled, outplayed, outworked. Period. Take the camera back.
And I'm going to add another word after Mr. Playmaker finishes. But go ahead, sir.
You see, this is my problem. What's been happening during the regular season with the Golden State Warriors?
We saw it re-escalate the fourth quarter last night.
It's showing up right now.
Yep, it sure is.
And most of my eye ain't going at freaking Jordan Poole, because how you get paid $140 million, this is what you give me in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one. I'm gonna put it in a different way for you guys. The guy who got paid $140 million played 10 minutes last night
and got zero. Goose egg. Oh, Bishop, did Jordan Poole score last night?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
I told y'all going into the series, Jordan Poole had to show up.
You did. And he's only shown up for one game, and that was a blowout.
You're the one who got the contract. Draymond Green didn't get no contract extension. Klay Thompson didn't get no contract extension. See, this is what happened when people forget who's getting paid and who's not. So we gonna look at Klay Thompson because he's the splash brother. But we all know Klay Thompson's coming off 2 horrific injuries.
Yep.
Draymond Green is Draymond Green. He's gonna do stuff that gets on your damn nerves and gets suspended from time to time. This is what Draymond Green does. He's big.
You for real?
He's the Dennis Rodman of the Golden State Warriors. He's not there to put up big points.
You took the exact name out of my head.
Man, he's Mr. Triple Single, and people fail to believe that Draymond's role is to basically have him be considered ineffective, and I'm putting in quotes. His role is to be the offensive catalyst and the defensive cog. So you're not going to see him show up big on the stat sheet.
This slacking off by Jordan Poole is brought to you by Slackjaw VPN. I forgot the tagline, but
let the slacking be slapping. Sorry, Playmaker.
Thank you. Sorry, Playmaker.
I'm pretty sure sick couldn't find a better word than slacking, because if I could find a better word than slacking, I would use it.
Same.
Because there's no slacking if you scoring 11 points during the damn playoffs.
And this is on top, and this is behind a 17-point playoff average last year.
Oh, and we was having pool parties last year.
Lots of them. They're gonna need one in San Francisco tomorrow night.
Bishop, have you seen a pool party this playoffs?
Nope.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
And you see,
Bishop, are we gonna see one Wednesday night?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
I'm sorry, Snowman. He's playing like Dylan Brooks. I'm sorry. Go ahead, playmaker.
He's playing worse than Dylan Brooks.
You know,
said it.
You know what? You know what? Draymond Green. If you put your foot on Jordan Poole's, you know what?
Oh, you mean you want
Give me this
Draymond?
camera. Give me this camera, damn it.
Before I give you this camera. So basically, you saying you want Draymond Green to do this to Jordan Poole. And now, give me this camera.
Mr. Draymond Green, if you could put your foot up Jordan Poole's ass to make him perform the rest of this series, I would appreciate it. Back to playmaker.
Because this don't make no sense.
None.
You the guy who got paid. You went from scoring 20 points a game in the regular season to 11 in the playoffs.
11. The man said 11.
And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled "The Lakers Bench Are Looking at You Like This, Jordan."
This is why I'm
follow-up selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled "The Warriors Got Outplayed Last Night."
You fool!
Now I gotta
Thank
sit
you.
here. I have to sit here and hope that we get a game 7 for Mother's Day.
Oh, you mean you're hoping for a
Game 7.
I don't know what more Steph Curry can do.
And
he can't do anything else.
he really can't. No one's helping him. And I never thought I'd see that from the Warriors.
He can't do anything else.
He gives you a 30-point triple-double.
If he gives you a triple-double and he scores 30 points, he can't give you anything else.
And you got 15 from Gary Payton.
And none of us have the right to say, well, he could have scored 40, he could score 50. No.
I have.
If he's giving you 30 and he is influencing the offense beyond his scoring, there isn't another thing he can do. It is up to everybody else to step up their level.
Yep. And playmaker, you need to step on it because I got to do an experience before my daughter comes back.
Wednesday night, I better see some signs that
Of
look
what?
good going into game 6. Or else the champs are done. Now get out my face.
Before your experience, give me this camera. I'm going to make this really quick. Don't give me this crap about referees, Warriors fan. You had your chance. You had your chance. You had the game in your pocket. A double-digit lead in the third quarter on the road. And you blew it. You blew it with execution down the stretch. Turnover after turnover after turnover. So don't give me the referees want it and have it in the bag for the Lakers. No. You play beyond that. And the one stat that I'll circle, because I've done this often with the James Harden-led Rockets. You shot 41 threes last night. You only made 12. 29 missed threes. If 2 of those were just 2-point baskets, guess what conversation we're having this morning?
A much different one. You get to the basket the way you were last night. Give me this camera. You get to the basket the way you were last night in the third quarter, then it's a much different conversation than what we're having now. Period. You stopped penetrating. You stopped beating the Lakers at their game. You deserve to lose. And this is coming from a fellow who not only is a Warrior fan, but covers the Warriors. You deserve to lose because you stopped going to the bucket. You stopped beating them at their own game. They beat you up in the post, so you beat them by slashing backdoor. The Princeton offense was only half complete last night. There were no steroids. There were no death by 1,000 backdoor cuts. Instead, they slashed you to death.
Mm-hmm.
They backdoored you to death.
Insert Lonnie Walker the fourth.
In the fourth quarter.
Not just Lonnie Walker the fourth. Insert the entire damn team in the
I was about to
fourth
say,
period.
And insert them at the end of the third. Yeah.
Insert the entire Laker team at the end of the third period when they cut the lead down and down to 7 and began the fourth quarter with a 7-0 run and made it nip and tuck the rest of the way.
Rest of the game.
Listen, Warriors, they outplayed you, they out-hustled you, they beat you at your own game, and they forced you to take 41 threes and 10 of them in the fourth quarter last night. And you know how many threes they made in the fourth quarter last night? 2.
2. Yep.
2.
Mm-hmm. That to me is game, set, and match. Don't settle.
And I kept say that again. Preach that again, please.
Game, set, and match for me. The Warriors settled. Don't settle.
And they can't settle tomorrow night, or this series and their championship reign is done. And they have a lot of questions to answer and a lot to answer for in this maddeningly inconsistent season. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's 2 stats that you have to hope doesn't end if you're a Warriors fan. Since Steve Kerr has taken over, they have never lost a Western Conference series.
Never lost a Western Conference series.
They haven't lost a Western Conference series since Kerr has taken over as coach. They've only lost 2 series, period, in the playoffs.
Both of those were the World Championship Series.
And they now own an NBA playoff record of 28 straight series where they have gotten at least one road victory in it.
Well, they're going to have to get one Friday. Well, they got to win Wednesday to get to Friday.
Now they must win one Friday if they want to have that streak continue.
They got to win. Well, they got to win Wednesday first.
Yeah.
Before we talk about Friday, they got to win tomorrow.
Got to take care of Wednesday. That's right.
They got to win tomorrow night.
Got to take care of tomorrow night. Yep.
Speaking of taking care of things, while I'm here waiting on my daughter, let's have some laughs. And I know Playmaker's gonna run like hell, but let's have some laughs. I got a good one for you. Give it a minute.
Two pivotal Game 5s will take place tonight. That's the coverage for it because you already know this is happening. And with that, sir, what is on deck for this experience?
Blank Boston.
Thank you, Playmaker.
I'm sorry.
Take the camera back a minute. Take the camera back. Hey, give Playmaker the camera so he can do it again. Do it again, Playmaker. Do it again.
Blank Boston, man. God darn it. They are another team that's making me mad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to escape these 2 words the rest of my life. Oh my gosh.
And I'll give you 3. And I'll give you 3 more.
Oh my god.
F the Cubs.
Oh my gosh. And I heard those same words, not F the Cubs. I'm talking about F Boston. I heard the same words in the upcoming Mentality episode. Lord have mercy. Okay. So, Cubdom experience on deck. What is it?
All right. As y'all know, for 2 horrible years, I lived with a card-carrying, blank slurping Cub fan. Where the Cubs can, and in his mind, the Cubs can do no wrong.
No wrong.
They are a perfect team, in which we are, and those of us who actually follow the game know better.
What is a perfect team? especially in baseball.
Right now, the Tampa Bay Rays, but
Yeah, I'm about to
that's
say
a later
that's
conversation.
That's a good one.
That's a later conversation.
Mhm.
So this fool,
Oh Lord,
This Megan idiot.
fat too. Thank you, Playmaker. This fish-eyed fool.
oh Lord, he went low on the page. Okay,
I did. When I was preparing for a baseball game to call, and I had to drive to the South Side to do it.
Talking high school?
Yeah, I take that back. I had to go to LaPorte, Indiana to do it. I beg your pardon. For a high school game, he tried to tell me how to do my job.
really?
And
So, does he even have experience in the field that you work in?
I'll get to that in a moment.
Oh Lord, this should be funny.
And when I looked at him, I told him 2 words. And you know the 2 words I'm looking for.
Yes, I do. They are
Bitch, please.
Yeah. And I also told him,
you also told y'all, but you also told
You
him.
fool!
I know you probably also told him the same. The other.
I said, you're trying to tell a veteran announcer how to do his job. And his response to me was, yeah, because you're not doing it right.
Hold on. Is it me or did the word veteran was in that sentence somewhere?
Yes,
I specifically put veteran in that question. He said, and he responded with, I can do a better job than you. I said,
what did the definition of veteran mean?
Said Pat Hughes does a better job than you. And you haven't even tried this before. And of course, Pat Hughes is the longtime Cub radio voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he said, I can do a better job than Pat Hughes. Now give me Red Fox.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Bitch, please.
So the man thinks that he could just boogie on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me that he can outdo somebody that's a person of long experience, usually in some occupation or skill.
And this man who probably has breath smelling like Similac when it comes to the microphone.
Yep.
Thinks that he can do a better job than somebody who's done it for years.
I
said, okay. I challenge you. You dumbass, to go find a high school, get some equipment, and go do their games, and we'll compare notes. He sat on the couch when I told him that. 4 hours later, when I got back from LaPorte, he fell asleep on the couch. You dumbass. Then he comes up to my room, looks at me with a smile and goes, oh, how'd the game go? Yeah, I socked him in the stomach.
Bitch, are you for real?
That's a violent man.
Later that night.
Okay.
The Cubs were playing.
Mm-hmm.
He invited me to go to an establishment with him. And I originally told him no.
I get the feeling the establishment has a lot of scantily clad women in it.
Establishment.
You're getting warm.
A gentleman's club.
Not that. This establishment actually had
we're talking
food
about
and drink and a ball game.
Okay.
So he's around a bunch of Cub fans. I'm sitting at the bar minding my business.
Of course.
And a young lady walked in.
What was it? Bring the woman on, because we got to hear
how
ridiculous this man is with women. Go ahead, sir.
I better speed this up because we're running out of time.
All right.
Woman comes in. He walks up to her. Apparently he knows her because he tried to give her a hug and she stepped away and gave him a side hug and walked off.
Not the church hug.
Oh. Yeah, he got the church hug.
A woman gave him a church hug. Lord
he
have mercy.
got the church hug.
A church hug and put
now
in the voice.
Another again. Another woman. Another.
Knew this woman. He knows this woman. And he still got that treatment.
He knew her and he got that treatment.
Oh, that is sad.
Now,
no rub
she
for
comes
Mr.
to
Cobb.
where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even bother to introduce herself. She just sits down and says, "Do me a favor." I said, "What's that?" She said, "Get him away from me."
No rub for Mr. Cobb.
Oh no!
How'd you know
None.
you was with him? Because you was at the bar.
No rub at all. I said, "All right, how do you want to do this?" She says, "Either we can get out of here or we can lose ourselves in the crowd and just make sure we get away from him." I said, "All right, let's get out of here."
Option A.
Yeah, option A.
Yep, we took option A, and I didn't come back for 3 days.
We talking 72 hours.
Mattress Mambo in the house.
He wasn't happy when I showed back up. He said, "What happened the other night?" I said, "Nothing."
She shifted, Snowman, into high gear.
It ain't all. But that's him, and that's his loss, and that's the experience for this Tuesday.
Again, another woman. Another. All right. Well, looks like that is all the time we have for today's Snowman in the Morning.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed it.
All right. We got a book. We got a lot to do tomorrow also. And I got to take my daughter home. So have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. I'll be on this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
Give me this camera. Warriors fan, don't cry.
Nope.
Cheer your team on. Give them that 3 victories. Do that, and we'll be satisfied. Forget the refs. Get them W's.
Please.
See ya.